All right, welcome back. Let's try this again. We didn't add my sound. I tried starting it, it didn't add my sound. So, all right, welcome back. Okay, let's try this. Sounds good on my phone. Sorry, guys. I shouldn't have to check like this and make sure the audio is correct and all that. They need to step their game up a little. But I mean, it is what it is. It sounds good right now. So, okay. So you see the title, Neuralink and Mark of the. Nope, that wasn't supposed to be it. All right. Yeah, so we'll just do it. Screw it. Yeah, okay, I'm good to go. I was having a few issues. So StreamYard's been messing up. So today we're going to take a look at Elon Musk. I had just seen an article that popped up in my feed this morning. Supposedly Elon Musk said that here not too long, hundreds of millions of people will have his Neuralink brain implant, which I thought that was a pretty crazy statement to make. So we're going to look into who is Elon Musk and look at his background. Let's get started. Whoever's viewing, welcome. We're gonna go ahead and watch a little documentary, basically about his life and stuff, and just see who he is really.
Becoming a spacefaring civilization is one of those things that makes you excited about the future.
After revolutionizing the space race and electric cars, the world's richest man is now promising a Twitter makeover, renaming his own account Chief Twit and proclaiming the bird is freed.
I mean, I highly doubt he's the richest man on Earth. There's people we've never heard about. There's trillionaires. I've heard some of the Saudi princes are trillionaires. We just you don't know about it, but he's definitely up there for sure. But I doubt he's the richest man on Earth.
Space is one of those things that I think almost everyone is inspired by. And if you asked people what was the most inspiring event in history, it was probably landing on the moon.
Elon Musk has been dethroned as the world's richest man. As Costa Haratos explains, the person that's taken over may just surprise you.
Going viral today is the new lineup of the world's richest people on the Bloomberg Billionaires Index. Elon Musk, once worth as much as $340 billion, was dethroned as the world's richest person. Today, Bernard Arnault, the founder of LVMH, took the title instead, for now.
Yeah, like right there. Have you ever heard of that person before? I haven't.
A man with a dream that opened a door to many others.
And also YouTube, this falls under Fair Use 107. When I cover bigger channel videos, it seems to get my channel in some problems. But I don't understand. This should be under fair use. I don't understand how all the big channels get away with it. But this is definitely Fair Use 107.
Or a man that opened too many doors at once. Elon Musk set himself a task, turning the impossible into possible. And through the years,
Notice a lot of his companies have X in it, like SpaceX, Twitter. He renamed to X. X is highly what am I looking for? I don't want to say too much. X is an occult symbol, and just look it up. Look up what X means in the occult.
he has stopped at nothing to do so. A multi-talented, dedicated, and driven entrepreneur who created groundbreaking inventions that shook the entire world. With a highly respectable reputation in the space and technology industry, Elon Musk is Iron Man incarnate. And now putting his stamp on the social media world, he has become one of the most influential entrepreneurs of the 21st century.
Yeah, and it all started from PayPal. That's crazy.
with an estimated net worth of 146.5 billion US dollars, making him the second wealthiest person in the world. Is there really any stopping a man who sees the sky as nothing more than a stepping stone?
See, I was just watching a video the other day on here, and they were saying that there's Saudi princes over in the Middle East that are trillionaires. People don't know about it because they don't let people know, basically. Which that's highly, highly plausible. I mean, they got all the oil, so I would tend to believe myself that's true, that they are probably trillionaires. I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. Some of them. So I don't think they really tell us who the real rich people are in this world.
As opposed to
Not that Elon did that. I mean, 145 billion. That's insane. He could literally basically end world hunger on his own.
actual limits, committed to building the future, devoted to the pursuit of success, an ongoing pursuit of wanting it all, that could very well lead to losing it all in a financial decline. Will Elon Musk, reaching beyond the clouds, cause a neglect in his already existing attainments? Or can Elon Musk really conquer it all? And at what expense?
Elon Musk carried a kitchen sink into Twitter HQ this week, tweeting, "Let that sink in," then fired senior execs once closing the $44 billion deal.
Twitter insists it remains committed to content moderation and is taking a more aggressive approach than ever. But with top advertisers deserting the
Just a quick copyright pause.
platform, the question is whether this is a new beginning or the beginning of the end.
Twitter has become kind of the de facto town square. It's just really important that people have both the reality and the perception that they are able to speak freely within the bounds of the law.
I think just generally I'm looking for something that's like I said, as broadly inclusive as possible, that's as trusted as possible as a system, and I hope we are successful in that regard.
What's crazy too, I was watching this video the other day. Elon Musk was on his plane flying, I think overseas somewhere, but he was using Starlink to play this game called Pillars of Eternity 2. It's crazy. He was basically using Starlink to be able to play his game while he was flying across the globe. That's insane. That's crazy. I guess it's like 100 times faster than regular internet. It's just insane.
Elon Reeve Musk was born on 28th June 1971 in Pretoria, South Africa. His father was a wealthy South African engineer, and his mother, May Musk, was a Canadian model. Elon was the oldest of 3 children, with his brother Kimball and his sister Tosca. They appeared to be society's picture-perfect nuclear family. But what lay on the surface was far from the reality. Elon grew up in a tumultuous household where his father was abusive towards his mother. As a result, Elon had difficulties growing up, often isolated. The relationship between him and his father was strained, as he denied Elon any help to begin a career in business. He wasn't interested in his children's happiness or success. Therefore, his parents divorced when Elon was only 10 years old. Elon was different.
From everything I've heard from his mouth, his dad wasn't a very nice man. From everything I've heard, he said he was evil out of his own mouth. So that's pretty crazy.
His mother was able to distinguish his specialty at an incredibly young age, as he showed signs of being a little genius. In her autobiography published in 2019, A Woman Makes a Plan, she shared some humbled photographs of his childhood and wrote, "When Elon was young, I noticed that he read everything. After finally getting his first computer, he learned to code at only 10 years old. He taught himself programming after realizing that classes weren't helping because he was already ahead of his teachers. He quickly figured out that he could write a better software and sell it. Then he could buy better computers. And that's what he did. He created his first piece of space gaming software called Blastar. He sold it to a magazine for
Yeah, that's crazy.
$500. At 12 years old, he had sold his first commercial program. It seems that Elon Musk was born with a creative superpower. He was already thinking like an entrepreneur, born to innovate and create. Despite his tough childhood, it might have been an asset for his incredible success later in life, giving him the ability to adapt and overcome the most difficult challenges and circumstances.
Perry, I will train morning, noon, and night.
In June 1989, he decided to leave South Africa, only 17 years old. He had in mind the American dream. Elon believed that.
What's up? We're watching a little documentary on Elon Musk. Well, they left. They didn't stay long.
America is where great things are possible, more than in any other country in the world. The land of opportunity. He didn't have a concrete plan, but he knew that staying in his country would prohibit his potential. Against his father's wish.
For anyone who's new to YouTube that's a creator, if you guys see this, just keep plugging away, guys. I've been going for a few months now, and I have one regular viewer, Stefan. He's a cool dude. And I get other viewers from time to time, but it takes a while, guys, to build up your stuff. So just keep plugging away at it.
He moved from his hometown to Canada. He settled at Queen's University in Ontario, where he met his first wife, Justine Wilson. They got married in 2000. He then moved to the United States to attend the University of Pennsylvania, where he graduated with
I think he's been married like 2 or 3 times, and he has like 5 or 6 kids.
BA degrees in economics and physics in 1997. He earned a scholarship to go to Stanford, where he got a PhD in energy physics. But that was only step one for Elon. He wanted to work on new technology, so he decided to move to Silicon Valley in California, where he believed he'd thrive the most.
Silicon Valley it's kind of in the Bay Area. I'm in California. It's literally one of the richest areas probably in the United States. It's literally pretty much all the top billionaires in the United States live in Silicon Valley. It's where all the tech guys are. The prices there are insane from what I've heard. They literally pushed a lot of people that live in the Bay Area up here to where I live. People have to move here and drive to the Bay Area daily because Silicon Valley raised the prices on housing so much. But I think there's like 17 billionaires that live in Silicon Valley. It's crazy.
Promised land of any entrepreneur in the tech world. It was soon revealed that Musk had the capacity of foreseeing future problems the world would be dealing with. He could anticipate things and create a solution. By the time he moved, his intention was to affect the future of humanity.
That bridge was the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco. We saw somebody jump off there one day. It was pretty horrible. It happens quite a lot at that bridge right there, unfortunately. The guy who jumped actually made it, believe it or not. He was one of the few that made it. And he did a documentary, actually. He said as soon as he jumped, he knew instantly he made a mistake and changed his mind. It's crazy. That bridge has a lot of history right there.
Since it was the dawn of
I think a couple hundred or thousands of people died making it in the early 1900s. There's a lot of history on that bridge right there.
the internet, Elon believed this was his opportunity to make an impact. Most local businesses familiarize themselves with Yellow Pages as opposed to the internet.
Yeah, for all you youngsters, that's how we had to do it back in the day. If you wanted to find somebody, there was no internet, no Google, none of that. You had to pick up a phone book. And if you were out in public, you had to go find a pay phone. I think we didn't have cell phones yet. I think back then pagers were just coming around. But you wanted to get a hold of somebody, sometimes it would take you all day to find them back then.
Musk thought that he would invent something that would help to transform newspapers and print media into a digital platform. People didn't believe him. What could possibly replace the Yellow Pages? Little did they know that he had already had the experience and knowledge required to write internet software. He knew he wanted to make useful things happen on the internet, even though he had no idea of what exactly to create in the beginning. This soon changed. He created his first internet software, allowing the media to convert their paper print content into digital content. This was the basis of his first company, Zip2.
Yeah, okay, so then after this came PayPal, okay. Yeah, everyone forgets he was basically one of the creators and founders of PayPal, but then he sold all the stock in it.
He created with his brother Kimball in 1995. He had no idea of the difficulty the first years would bring. Eventually, his company took off and grew. He struck deals with larger and larger clients, such as the New York Times. After 4 years, they finally reached the success they had wanted from the beginning. In February 1999, tech company Compaq acquired Zip2 for $307 million in cash and $34 million in stock options.
Yeah, it's crazy. You just write a computer program and sell it for that much money. That's insane.
Musk.
Yeah, guys, we've seen this hand sign lately all over Free Grace community, haven't we? The thumb to the yeah. See, he's scratching his beard too, guys. Even though he's clean shaven, he's scratching his beard. We've seen this a lot lately.
Was just 28 years old when he joined the ranks of the Silicon Valley millionaires. Musk had just gone from a broke man living on a couch in his office to a multi-millionaire overnight. And what was he going to do with his new money? Buy a new toy. He went and bought one of the highest performance cars money could buy at the time, the McLaren F1, costing $1 million.
That's such a waste of money. Even if I was a billionaire or millionaire, I wouldn't buy these kind of cars. It's just a waste of money. Like, you're gonna drive it ever so often, and it's, first of all, I probably wouldn't fit in it. I'm 6'5", like 275 pounds, so I know I wouldn't fit good in it. But even if I did, that's just a waste of money to me. I'd rather, what's that car? Probably a couple million. I'd rather give that 2-3 million to people who need it. That's just a waste of money for me. It's literally going to sit in your garage for months out of the year just to sit there to be like, oh, I have a McLaren. That's just so dumb to me.
For Musk, it was deeper than materialistic items. He wanted to change the world, not just make a small change in the newspaper's history. Zip2.
But to each his own. I mean, if you don't come from money and you get your hands on that type of money, I mean, there's nothing wrong with going and buying you some stuff. It's just, for me, I don't know. I'm just not into that kind of stuff.
Didn't have the profound effect he was looking for. He soon got more interested in building a new company. He was always thinking, what could they do next? How about transforming the banking industry?
Like, I wouldn't even want to be famous or a celebrity at all. Like, no, thank you. I like being able to walk around and just do whatever I want and nobody pay attention. And no, thank you. I mean, at first it'd probably be exciting and stuff, but after a while that would be so annoying. You can't even go shopping or nothing. Like, no, thank you. I'm cool and all that.
After selling Zip2, his confidence had grown even more, and he was ready for a new challenge.
But I'm a Libra, so I'm naturally reserved anyway, and just super laid back person. And yeah, just not for me.
His ambition was endless.
There's probably going to be quite a few ads because he has a lot of subs. And this might even get me a strike or something, but I don't even care. I've told you guys I don't care about my channel like that, so it is what it is. I don't understand how the bigger channels get away with doing the same thing, reacting to like the same type of videos, but the smaller channels get hit. They haven't given me a strike. They just keep making my videos where supposedly they can't be seen overseas or something, which I don't even really care either. It is what it is. I got a backup channel ready to go, so it really doesn't bother me at all about this channel.
$19.99.
I could just literally upload everything I have back to the other channel within 30-40 minutes and be good to go. And then I'll have a backup channel for that one, so who cares?
Only a month after selling Zip2, Elon and Kimball used the money for their sale to found X.com, known as the now...
You know, like all these fake racers who really care about their channels like that and care about money, making money off it. And I don't care like they do at all. Like at all.
Incredibly popular PayPal. Money transactions used to be very slow. In fact,
that's one of the reasons these fake racers quit messing with me. They really know I don't care about my channel like that, like they care about theirs. And they're scared to lose their channels. I'm not. So a couple of them, like Mike, are on 2 strikes. So they're scared to lose theirs. I'm not. So that's another reason they all quit messing with me.
People mailing checks to each other could take weeks just to complete a single transaction. Musk noticed that there was a problem here to be fixed and an opportunity to make a real profound change in the financial world.
That's the other thing. All is fair in love and war. So they do it to me, they can expect it to come right back to them. So it is what it is, guys.
He invented PayPal to make money transfer and payments easier without having to deal with cash. Ahead of his time, Musk's second business grew fast, and by the end of the second year, it exploded with 1 million customers. In October 2000, a year and a half after the launch, he was fired as CEO of his own company. The reason was that he decided to go away in the middle of a very tough period for PayPal, where it had many issues.
Yeah, he still made a lot of money off his shares, though. Even though he was fired, he made a ton of money off of his shares.
Upon his return, his CEO position had been replaced. His team had decided that he was probably not the right guy to run this company. But things would get better again. In 2002, eBay purchased PayPal for $1.5 billion. Being the largest shareholder and after receiving more than $150 million, this situation led him to improve his business relationships. And just as things...
What would you guys do with $150 million? I know what I would do. I would see how fast I could give it away to people who need it. I would give the whole thing away. I'm not even joking. How long do you think that would take to give away 150 million? Say if you were giving out, I mean, we could do the math, I guess. Say you were just giving families like 50,000 each, 100,000 each. Yeah, that's what I would do for sure. You don't need that much money. What are we gonna do with that much money? I mean, after you can only buy so much stuff, guys. I mean, what are you gonna do with it after that? After you have everything you bought, I mean, it's pointless. It's just material crap and money, and yeah, I know that's what I would do. I'd give it away.
Started to look up again for the successful entrepreneur. Matters in his personal life were anything but. That year, a tragedy hit him and his wife. By the time eBay bought PayPal, Elon and Justine had moved to Los Angeles and had their first child, a boy named Nevada Alexander. That same week, which catapulted Elon's net worth to well over 100 million, his son, their baby boy, suddenly stopped breathing.
A performance that truly matters. Get tickets now at shenyun.com.
Oh yeah, I forgot he did have a son that passed away. Then they named their other son something weird like XA32-9 or something just weird. That's the weirdest name for a kid.
He died from SIDS, sudden infant death syndrome. He was just 10 weeks old. Elon had just earned his first billion, but he had lost.
That sucks. That sucks. He had to lose a kid like that. I mean, even if he is, I don't know what word I'm looking for. Even if he is not Christian, and I mean, that still sucks for someone to have to go through that. I definitely don't think he's Christian. I saw his Halloween costume last year, had the Baphomet and the upside down cross on it. So, but still, I feel bad for anybody, even Satanists, I guess, that lose a child like that.
A child. Following on, he refused to talk about Nevada's death, as he and his wife decided that they wanted to have children again as soon as possible. Within the next 5 years, and with the help of IVF, Justine gave birth to twins.
Does IVF stand for like in vitro or something like that? I don't know. I don't know what my thoughts are on that process. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I don't think I'm for that process. I don't know. I don't know. I just believe. I think if God wants you to have a child, you're going to have a child. So that's just my feelings on that. Let this play for like 2 minutes. I got some food just now pulling up. I'll be right back.
Triplets, 5 sons in total, named Griffin, Xavier, Damien, Saxon, and Kai. He and his family were living a dream, or so it seemed. Justine declared feeling that she had turned into a trophy wife and that their relationship had become unhealthy and unsustainable. The tragic death of their first child, Elon's priorities and obsessions with work, led to them growing apart. Some would say at this point, he had it all. The family, the everlasting supply of money, a name that wouldn't be forgotten, with a reputation that claimed respect and admiration. And yet, that still wasn't enough to satisfy Elon Musk. Ultimately, the couple divorced in 2008, a year that would be full of challenges. Not long after, in 2010, he met his second wife, the British actor Tallulah Riley. He proposed after dating for only 10 days. They divorced, then remarried in 2013. But in 2016, their marriage ended for good. Despite the troubles and the obstacles, Musk had finally reached the impact he dreamed about and worked for. PayPal created something that we all now take for granted. It paved the way for money transfers and how the world buys things.
Come on. See you when you get back later, bud. I'm back,
There
guys.
is no denying the fact that Musk had come a long way in a short 3 years.
I don't know, though. If you were picturing the Antichrist, he would almost be someone like Musk, someone that just everything he touches, he succeeds at. So, I mean, that's how I picture the Antichrist. Just literally everything he does, he succeeds. So, I've always had him on a short list. I don't know. I personally believe the Antichrist is probably going to be a Muslim man myself. But, I mean, he's not a bad candidate.
In 2002, at 31, he became a U.S. citizen and a billionaire. Without hesitation or...
But I mean, though, his Neuralink, he could be. I mean, he could be a great candidate with Neuralink, actually. That Neuralink is probably so far the closest thing that we could say would maybe be what the mark of the beast is. Because you get a microchip in the forehead and a microchip in your right hand. So that's pretty crazy to me. And then I saw an article today popped up in my feed. He was talking about in the near future, hundreds of millions of people will have his Neuralink implant. And I just found that a crazy statement to make. Since right now it's being pushed as for disabled people, basically. I don't know. Yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Or delay. He could have easily retired, bought private tropical islands, and sipped.
Me personally, my top candidate for Antichrist right now is MBS, Mohammed bin Salman in Saudi Arabia. He's my top candidate right now, just because of a number of things. I made a few videos about it, but right now he's my top candidate for me. I've always felt the Mahdi and the Antichrist were going to end up being the same man. Just I feel Islam's going to play too big of a role in end times. I think they're going to have to. That's why I've always felt the Mahdi and Antichrist will probably be the same man.
On my ties for the rest of his life. But
and then Islam says their Mahdi will be named Muhammad and he'll stutter and have a facial tic, which MBS has both. He has a severe facial tic at times. That's what first drew my attention to him. I watched him do an interview and he couldn't get through the interview without, he had a severe facial tic that interview. And that's what really, I was like, oh, yeah, it caught my attention.
That did not intrigue him. Musk's interest lay in a more inspiring future, like exploring outer space. A future where humans are not forever confined.
I've been seeing a lot of people saying that the Antichrist is the, I don't even want to say the name because of my channel, but you guys know the upcoming, once again, President T-Man. A lot of people think it's him, and I don't agree with that. don't think it's him at all. I think he could be making way for the AC for sure. You guys can watch my Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn video, which I'm pretty sure Trump is a part of the Golden Dawn, because this whole last campaign he kept saying we're about to reach a golden age or a golden dawn. I don't think he's the AC myself. I never have. I'm not a fan of him at all, but I don't think he's the AC.
Line to Earth.
Come on.
After PayPal's success, his new goal was to enable the human civilization to leave the planet Earth. The little child with no big or clear vision in the beginning evolved into a genius entrepreneur who now held a vision bigger than what most could possibly imagine. Was he punching above his weight? Or was he devoted to monopolizing anything deemed profitable? Anything that kept him on top? True or false, it didn't matter to Elon Musk, because now he had his eyes on Mars.
Which, if you know anything about the occult, Mars and Jupiter and all those names, they named them that for a reason. Saturn, all that. That gets into a whole nother topic, but I mean, you could look it up. There's a reason they named it Mars and Jupiter and Saturn, and yeah. Like January comes from a god they used to worship called Janus, the two-headed god. Yeah, I mean, it gets super deep. It's a whole discussion, but I mean, you could look all that up for yourselves. Or we could do a video in the future, I guess. But that's how they named all the months, January, all that.
In 2002, he founded his third company, SpaceX, the Space Exploration Technologies Corporation, with the intention of building spacecraft for commercial space travel.
We can bring,
which I don't know how they're going to pull that off with the firmament there, but anyway.
life as we know it and breathe life into Mars where it doesn't exist today. A future where we are a spacefaring civilization and out there among the stars is infinitely more exciting and inspiring than one where we are not. You basically have to hate humanity if you don't like that future.
SpaceX was established by 2008, and NASA awarded the company the contract to handle cargo transport for the International Space Station.
What the National Space Agency would like to do, of course, is to slowly hand over operation of the entire International Space Station to commercial companies.
I mean, even NASA, when you look at their history and how they got started, it's pretty sketchy. Pretty sketchy. That's why they named their rockets Apollo and all that. And yeah,
human spaceflight is the reason that SpaceX was created, and we're incredibly honored to partner with NASA and to make this happen.
We as an agency, we want to go to Mars and even beyond. And of course, we're very excited about the excitement that Elon is bringing to this, that SpaceX is bringing to this idea of humans expanding throughout the solar system.
Having some permanent presence on another heavenly body, which would be the kind of the moon base, and then and then getting people to Mars and beyond. It's sort of that's the continuance of the dream of Apollo that I think people are really looking for.
In 2015, SpaceX began development of,
it's sort of that's the continuance of the dream of Apollo that.
Yeah, and Apollo, yeah. Apollo basically comes from Apollyon the Destroyer.
I think people are really looking for.
In 2015, SpaceX began development of the Starlink to provide satellite internet access. On May 24th, 2019, the first 60 operational satellites were launched.
Yeah, like I was saying early in the video, he was using Starlink to play a video game flying across the globe. That's pretty crazy. He said it was like super fast connection.
This is a huge step for us. It's a huge step for.
I mean, if you're a gamer, you know how crazy that is. If you're a gamer, I've been a gamer myself since I was a kid.
The commercial ventures, and I think it's important for.
It gives me something to do. I don't go out and stay at home. It keeps me out of trouble. Gives me something to do. Yeah, I don't go out to clubs. I don't do none of that. I don't drink. I don't. Yeah, I used to when I was a teenager and in college and stuff, and used to get in a lot of trouble and be crazy. And everybody knows how that goes when we were younger. So when I got into video games as a way to have something to do and basically stay out of trouble when I was younger.
For the world to realize that we're going into space to stay, and we're going to.
Now I literally have friends like all across the globe. So built up a pretty good friend group over the years. Been friends for years with people that live in basically all across the world.
Continue on to then the moon and then on to Mars.
The project cost about $10 billion.
Do you need a loan for your business? Well, if you've been around for more than a year, I'm about to show you how to get up to $3 million.
And we do have significant danger with fracking technology, which is, I think, really still at an early stage. Because I think fracking probably increases the accessible oil and gas in the world by perhaps a factor of 10. I mean, we don't really know what the full.
Notice the pyramid hand sign here. Because I had a viewer, Stefan, he was asking me, do I think Elon's in the occult with all of them too? And I told him, yes, 100%. I believe he is. There's reasons why. I showed you earlier he was doing the beard scratching pose. Now here's the pyramid. And then his Halloween costume with a Baphomet and upside down cross. I know you in this world you don't get to the height and the level he's gotten to without being a part of them. They don't let you. It's impossible. They literally have such a control on the money and all that. They will not let you get up to those heights without being a part of them. Like it's literally impossible. So.
Sense of it is, but
you see the hand symbolism just like everyone else uses.
Probably something like an order of magnitude, which means the potential harm to the climate is really much greater than it was before, and we can't rely on scarcity to drive the price of oil and gas high, and have that be an adequate forcing function to move electric. So we have to figure out how to make electric cars themselves compelling without that economic forcing function of.
Electric cars are garbage. They still don't work. Even his models. I've seen so many videos of them driving by themselves and not stopping, and yeah.
High gas prices.
And then taking forever to charge if you don't have access to one of these things that charge them. I heard the chargers for the house take so long to charge. And they catch on fire. A lot of the batteries catch on fire. That's one of the main issues with electric cars, is the batteries catch on fire and ignite.
Having always been fascinated by rockets and fast cars, Musk wanted to find a way to end the destructive use of fossil fuels. So his next move in 2004 would need every chance on his side. He got involved with a company he believed would change the course of humanity and build a more sustainable future. A company with revolutionary technology dedicated to the environment, to the best customer experience, to success.
Yeah, it's crazy they named it Tesla. They literally stole all that man's inventions. I wouldn't be surprised if some of this stuff was what they took from him originally. They literally went to his house and took all of his paperwork and all of his studies and all that. So I wouldn't be surprised if some of that tech was, yeah.
The incredibly popular Tesla Motors
I don't know why the sound stopped like that. Give me a second, guys. That's weird. So let's do this. I was at 26:55. Yeah, StreamYard's been having a lot of issues lately. Oh, are you kidding me? All right, bear with me, guys. I don't know why StreamYard. I already had to start the stream twice earlier. The sound wasn't working. Give me 1 second. See, all right, hold on. Let me see here. I think I got it. What? That's so weird. The sound will not work on it now. Yeah, it's weird. The sound works when I remove it from right here, but it's not working now. What is going on, StreamYard? All right, I guess we'll just try a different video because StreamYard is not wanting to work. Let's try this one. Like I said earlier, I'd seen a article of him saying hundreds of millions would have his Neuralink, and then I found a video actually of him talking about it.
Boring company. What may be less known is that he's a world-class engineer and designer, constantly emphasizing first principles thinking and taking on big engineering problems that many before him will consider impossible. As scientists and engineers, most of us don't question the way things are done. We simply follow the momentum of the crowd. But revolutionary ideas that change the world on the small and large scales happen when you return to the fundamentals and ask, is there a better way? This conversation focuses on the incredible engineering and innovation.
Yeah, this guy right here, Lex Friedman, he came out of nowhere and he's already up to 5 million subs.
Done in brain-computer interfaces at Neuralink. This work promises to help treat neurobiological diseases, to help us further understand the connection between the individual neuron to the high-level function of the human brain, and finally, to one day expand the capacity of the brain through two-way communication with computational devices, the internet, and artificial intelligence systems. This is the Artificial Intelligence Podcast. If you
I'm gonna pause a little bit more on this one because he's a way bigger channel.
You enjoy it, subscribe on YouTube.
This permeates. All matter.
Panpsychists believe that.
Yeah.
There's a philosophical.
How would you tell?
That's true. That's a good point.
I believe in the scientific method. I don't blow your mind or anything, but the scientific method is like if you cannot test the hypothesis, then you cannot reach a meaningful conclusion that it is true.
Do you think understanding consciousness is within the reach of science, of the scientific method?
We can dramatically improve our understanding of consciousness.
Yeah, notice he didn't say yes, guys, because they know they can't.
You know,
They aren't God, so
hard pressed to say that we understand anything with complete accuracy, but can we dramatically improve our understanding of consciousness? I believe the answer is yes.
or maybe what he means to say is, can they alter consciousness? He just not saying it, I bet.
Does an AI system, in your view, have to have consciousness in order to achieve human level or superhuman level intelligence? Does it need to have some of these human qualities like consciousness, maybe a body, maybe a fear of mortality, capacity to love, those kinds of silly human things?
It's different. You know, there's the scientific method, which I very much.
That's the thing, though. If AI had a fear of mortality and they thought that basically they were going to be shut down or stopped, what do you think they would go and do? Out of fear of them being killed? Like, oh my God, AI is such a sketchy thing. Oh, I'm not for AI at all. I see a ton of these supposed Christian teachers on here using AI and stuff now too. It's just insane. You guys are using a fallen angel technology. That's nothing to play with.
Believe in where something is true to the degree that it is testably so, and otherwise you're really just talking about, you know, preferences or untestable beliefs or that, you know, that kind of thing. So it ends up being somewhat of a semantic question where we were conflating a lot of things with the word intelligence. If we parse them out and say, you know, are we?
I literally heard him a few years ago say he said with AI we're summoning a demon. That was like direct word for word out of his mouth. So that's pretty crazy, guys.
Headed towards the future where an AI will be able to outthink us in every way, then the answer is unequivocally yes.
In order for an AI system that needs to outthink us in every way, it also needs to have a capacity to have consciousness, self-awareness, and understanding.
It will be self-aware, yes. That's different from consciousness. I mean, to me, in terms of what consciousness feels like, it feels like consciousness is in a different dimension. But this could be just an illusion. You know, if you damage your brain in some way physically, you damage your consciousness, which implies that consciousness is a physical phenomenon, in my view. The thing is that I think are really quite likely is that
consciousness is physical. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's like physically stored in the brain right there, but yeah, I don't know about that.
Digital intelligence will be able to outthink us in every way, and it will soon be able to simulate what we consider consciousness. So to a degree that you would not be able to tell the difference.
And from the aspect of the scientific method, it might as well be consciousness if we can simulate it perfectly.
If you can't tell the difference, when this is sort of the Turing test, but think of a more sort of advanced version of the Turing test. If you're talking to a digital superintelligence and can't tell if that is a computer or a human, like let's say you're just having a conversation over a phone or a video conference or something where you think you're talking looks like a person,
makes all of the right inflections and movements and all the small subtleties that constitute human, and talks like a human, makes mistakes like a human, like at that, and you literally just can't tell, are you video conferencing with a person or an AI?
Might as well
be
human. So, on a darker topic, you've expressed serious concern about existential threats of AI. It's perhaps one of the greatest challenges our civilization faces. But since I would say we're kind of an optimistic descendants of apes, perhaps we can find several paths of escaping the harm of AI. So,
Yeah, that's a lie. We're not from apes, guys. Come on. Why are there still apes on the planet then? Guess they were the ones who, yeah, I'm not going to get into that, but come on, we're not from apes.
if I can give you 3 options, maybe you can comment which do you think is the most promising. So, one,
Yeah, the title said that it was him talking about the hundreds of millions of people would have it, but I'll probably have to do some more research to find that video. It doesn't look like it, but yeah, this was just a quick dive into who is Musk. We'll do a deeper dive and maybe try to show some occult connections and all that. But I'm gonna go ahead and leave it off here. I like to keep mine around an hour, hour and a half, so they're more manageable and easy to watch. I know for me, if it's like a 5, 6, 3, 4, 5, 6 hour live, I'm skipping through like big chunks of it. I'm not watching 6 hours. There's just no way. So, but yeah, let me do a little bit more information. I had just made a video before this about Mohammed bin Salman, so I had been doing a lot of research into him, and I didn't get enough down onto the Musk like I wanted to. But let me do a little bit of research, and we'll pick this topic back up probably tomorrow. I think tomorrow we're going to go over Neuralink a lot more. So, all right, guys, I'll catch you guys on the next one. God bless. Put your faith in Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Don't live life however you want. Don't keep committing sin and doing whatever you want, guys. That's a lie of the devil. God bless.